Hi, come on in. How are you? Good. How can I help? Okay. So you're looking to book a trip. Do you happen to know where you'd like to go? Oh, wow, great. Okay, so you already know. Okay. Can I have your first and last name, please? Mm-hmm. And can you spell that last name? Great, thank you. And can I get a good phone number for you? Great. And then finally, email. Your first dot last name, okay? Okay, great. Wonderful. Alright, so I do believe we actually have a travel guide for Charleston. So let me look for that just really quickly. I have a couple sitting here of places that people really like to visit that are nearby. Okay, so here it is. This is the visitor's guide for Charleston. So let me just tell you a little bit about how we work here. We really like to leave the options and the opinions up to you, the traveler. So we like to kind of talk you through the different possibilities and then send you home with some literature or, things that I can print out for you, things like that. And that way you can go home, talk with your spouse, with your kids, whoever is going on the trip with you, and kind of decide together. Yeah, we understand that it's hard to get everybody, into the office, and then once everyone is here, it's hard to make a decision as someone's sitting here waiting for your responses. So we let you go home with the material, kind of look over it, and then come back in and let me know anything that I can book for you, anything that you want more information on. That way I can see if I have any discount codes or better access to whatever you've decided you'd like to do. Okay? So does that work for you? Okay, great. I'm glad we're on the same page. So I actually have been to Charleston a couple of times. It's one of my favorite places to visit that's close by, but it still really feels like a vacation. Right, so I think you've made a great decision. So to begin, I just want to get a little bit of basic info from you. So, who will be traveling? Yourself and anybody else? Okay. 2 children. And are they, kids, teens? Okay. Great. And I'm assuming since it's rather close by, will you be driving? Okay. No, that does make it a lot easier. That way we don't have to worry about rental cars or anything like that. So, number of nights you'd like to visit? Full week. Great. No, I think that's, a great amount of time for your first trip. That way you can really see everything and get a feel for what Charleston is all about. So, you'll need at least 2 rooms, I'm thinking. we could look for a place with 3. Okay, 2 is good. Okay, and when would you like to go? Okay, kids are out for the summer. Okay, well, I have 2 concerns I just wanted to bring up to you regarding summer travel to Charleston. It is a huge tourist location. People come from all over to experience their beaches, the many restaurants they have, things like that. So in the summer, you're going to get a lot of traffic. Prices will be higher for hotels or cottages, things like that. But on the other hand, there are a lot of things to do there in the summer. They organize a lot of events for spring and summer, really. Also, it's very hot there. Yes, it is South Carolina, and the average temps in the summer can be 90 plus. And since it's on the East Coast, as you know, there's a lot of humidity. So those are 2 things to think about for summer. I personally recommend spring. Yeah, their spring starts a little bit before ours up here. So the average temperatures in like April and May are around, the high is usually 75 and the low is about 57 or so, but mostly, 70s, sunny. It only rains about, I would say 2 inches, I believe. So yeah, it's a nice compromise. It's nice weather to walk around. There are plenty of things to do outdoors in Charleston, so it's really a great time to take advantage of little cooler temps while still being comfortable, obviously. And then of course you have less tourists as well. So how does that sound? Okay, April, May. Great. Yeah, so you can talk that over with your family, look at schedules, see what lines up, and then you can come back to me and I can look at the prices I have for weekends in either month or, anything like that, and you can decide further based on price. Okay? Great. So I think that's all the general questions I have. So let's look at the visitor's guide. So, have you been to Charleston before? Great. Okay, first timers. So, here's a little map. Okay, so we have a general outline of the area. So here we have the historic downtown area of Charleston. That's where you'll find great shops, great restaurants. That's where not all of, but most of the history is. You'll find great architecture, beautiful sights. They have a couple really nice parks as well, so definitely something to check out. It's kind of one of the centers of the hubbub of where everything is going on. So West Ashley is a bit of a locals area. It's not really considered Charleston, and the same for North Charleston. They do have some cheaper accommodations up there, Airbnb style. Yes, so I don't recommend staying up there if you want to get, the real feel for Charleston. So, a great place to stay if you don't want to be, right in the downtown, because it is a college town, College of Charleston, and they also have a great nightlife. So the downtown area, especially on the weekends, can be pretty populated and, lights, noise. So a great alternative to downtown is Mount Pleasant. It's just a quick ride over one of the many beautiful bridges, and it has it's also like a locals area, but it also has some accommodations, golf courses, a couple of the lovely plantations that we can talk about a little later, and some great restaurants as well. So beach-wise, Sullivan's Island right here, and Isle of Palm. Those are two great beaches. And then, if you're thinking about something a little different, maybe one day, going down to Kiowa Island down here. Yeah, that one it's breathtaking. It's absolutely beautiful. So, on the other side, we have a up close of downtown Charleston. So this here is the historic center. You have a couple great parks, like I said, some museums, very beautiful churches. This is the area where, every single building you can tell has been standing for years, and you've got the cobblestone streets and the ivy-covered brick. When you see photos of Charleston, this is the area that they're most likely, photographing. It's beautiful. So yeah, and the College of Charleston is right here. So yeah. All right. So there's an overview of that. Do you have any preference for where to stay? Okay. So let's take a look here. So we've got some beautiful houses, as I was saying. Every house is beautiful. Okay. Yep, some more great architecture here. I know. I'm surprised you've never been, so I'm very glad you decided to go. Alright. So they claim that, there's something for everybody in Charleston. This is actually a beautiful part of Mount Pleasant I was just telling you about. It's called Shem Creek. Yeah, Shem, yep. And it's a waterway that comes up from the ocean, and they've built some wonderful restaurants and bars right along the water there. So that's a nice alternative to going downtown to eat, or perhaps you and your husband would like to take a date night. This is a great kind of low-key, beautiful spot with the sun setting like this. Oh, yep, they're paddle boarding. So, yep, there's, some water sports, water activities you and the kids could do. Yeah, so that's definitely a place to check out. Okay. And here's a calendar of events. So, if we were looking at April or May, they've got a flower festival, a seafood festival. That one's April 29th. I would definitely mark that down. Seafood is one of, the main pulls for people to visit Charleston, or the Low Country as it's called. They have amazing southern food and seafood, so definitely check that out. It also looks like in May they have an arts festival going on. Yeah, that's about it. that's listed at least. There's, of course, other things going on. So here they break down where to stay in a couple different categories. So you have hotels, historic inns, bed and breakfasts, cottages, beach resorts, and vacation rentals. So do any of those strike your fancy? Okay, the cottages you're interested in? Great. Alright, so that is on page 72. So they have a few listings here. Okay. So they're all around 2 bed, 1.5 or 2 bath. The one that they're showing right here in the ad is the Cottages at James Island. That's a very rustic stay, so if you were interested in kind of almost camping, but you know, there is plumbing and things like that, but it's definitely not a glamorous, updated accommodation. So if you're looking for something along those lines, that's great. That the pool there is just great scenery. It's literally listed on a 643 acre park. So there's just, you know, trees and wildlife everywhere. So that could be interesting for the kids, but I do understand if you're looking for something a little more updated. Okay, you are. No, totally understand. Then something interesting that's right in the heart of the historic district is the Sarah Clifford Guest House and Cottage. Yep, so I can actually, it's on 29 Charlotte Street. So let me give you a general idea of where that is. So it's right around here. So it's a little higher up. It's not exactly right in the hubbub, not near the bar scene. So that one could actually be a really great location. Yeah. Okay. So the quick description says, luxury guest house in the heart of historic district. 2 bedroom, 2.5 baths, privacy perfect location. Walk to the best restaurants, activities, and sites in downtown Charleston. Yeah, so that one could be great, right? Okay, so why don't I write that down? Okay, and I'll provide you with my notes as well as this and, you know, the maps, so that you have everything. Okay, so now let's look at what to do. So there's just an overabundance of things to do in Charleston and the surrounding areas. They've listed a couple of the main activities. So we have aquariums and parks, historic forts, historic homes and buildings, historic houses of worship, museums, plantations and gardens, tours, recreation, golf, sports, cultural activities, shopping, and beauty and spas. So do any of those sound interesting to you? Okay, so the historic homes, plantations, okay, tours. Oh, okay, your husband golfs. Great. Well, there is a pretty in-depth breakdown of all the golf courses. Let me see, right here. So, shows locations, a little picture of each, and it talks, about the rating, slope, yards, right, things that, mean something to golfers. Okay, so he can take a quick look through that, and I can definitely help set up tee times. We do have a couple discounts with some of them. So yeah, I can let him know about those. So let's look at the plantations. Okay, 118. Okay, so plantations in Charleston, there's a couple huge ones, and they're all open for tours. And it's a great way to learn about the history of Charleston and how the economy used to work. It shows, the respect for everyone who worked and lived on the plantation. Yeah, I've been to a few myself. Boone Hall specifically, yeah, that one's absolutely beautiful. Have you seen the movie The Notebook? It's Allie's house. That's the outside of it, yeah. So absolutely gorgeous. But they do tours and you can walk the grounds. Most of them have elaborate gardens or crop spaces, and then you can look in the house as well. And it's just a peek into the past, and it's very interesting. So like I said, Boone Hall is a great one. The tea plantation, Magnolia, that one's beautiful. Yeah, so you can take a quick look at those. The Boone Hall little snippet says, Boone Hall Plantation has been recognized as the #1 plantation in the Charleston area according to USA Today's 10 Best, and is a must-see according to NBC daytime television. So, just, kind of raving about it. But I can say for sure that it's something that you'll all like to see. Okay, so then tours in general. Charleston is famous for their their carriage tours. They are sadly pulled by horses, so I don't really like to promote those. I like to think about the horses in the summer struggling in the heat, when Charleston is totally a walkable city. So I recommend walking tours. And we do have a couple listed. So there is, a mix of day tours and night tours. There's a great candlelight ghost tour that I recommend. Maybe not for the kids, but it's also not too scary. So there's more information on their website, obviously. So yeah, they do a lot of great ones. Most of them are downtown, yes. So you're getting, architecture, history. You find out about who lived in, the houses you're looking at, and things like that. So it's great. Yeah, for sure. So there's basically a walking tour for, anything you'd like to see. So take a look at that for sure, and I can mark the page. Okay. Sure thing. Okay. And then shopping. Yes, there is an abundance of shopping. So that's on 190. The main street is called King Street, and there's just about every shop you could think of, clothing wise or else. One thing I do want to point out, they have a great city market that runs every day, and it's an outdoor market with it's like 4 buildings in a row, and so it has a roof and walls, but they're all open store vendors. So you could just kind of wander from vendor to vendor, and it's a lot of collectibles, t-shirts, jewelry, beautiful jewelry. So I recommend that, and that is in the middle of downtown. So I can write that for you, the city market. And Boone Hall Plantation. Okay. So, like I said, they list, they have every clothing store you can think of. One that I will mention is a candle store. Yep. It's called Candlefish. It's on King Street downtown, and they have just an abundance of beautiful and delicious smelling candles. Yep. And they offer candle making classes. You can sign up for those at their website or in person in the store. They're usually full for that day, so you need to make it for a few days in advance if you did it in person. So yeah, that one's great. They have a lot of small mom and pop shops for home goods and things like that, so definitely things to check out. Okay, and then that gets us to dining. So the Low Country is known for a great array of cuisines and styles of cooking. They have just about everything you could want. So I guess we could look at Charleston restaurants real quick. I could kind of give you a few that I've personally been to. All of them that are listed in here are highly recommended, well-rated restaurants. So you don't need to worry about them listing every restaurant in Charleston. That's not possible, but these are the ones that come highly recommended. So looking through here, Basil Restaurant, that's in downtown Charleston. There is also one in Mount Pleasant though. It's Thai food, it's to die for, very spicy. Caviar and Bananas, as weird as that sounds. It's a gourmet market, so they do quick sandwiches, salads, small bites. They have amazing pastries. So definitely maybe a lunch spot. It's delicious. So let's see. The Glass Onion, that's in Charleston. That focuses on rural South, New Orleans, and Low Country cuisine. So very southern, not always the healthiest, but I do believe that this restaurant has a couple lower calories, maybe some vegan options as well. So, yeah, when you travel to the South, you kind of have to deal with, you know, really good food, but it's not always great for you. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Magnolias. That's a great breakfast spot. Yep. And Monero, that one is really good Mexican food. They have really great margaritas. So I recommend those. Are you and your husband maybe interested in a date night or anything like that? Okay. I can, there's a section for nightlife, so here it is. So, a rooftop. This one I recommend. It's voted best rooftop bar since 2007. The rooftop bar at the Vendu, which is a great hotel downtown, combines live music, a casual atmosphere, and one of the most captivating views downtown. So that one usually pulls an older crowd, so it's not, you know, a college scene by any means. Yeah, it's got great views, great drinks. So I do recommend trying that one out. So the book here finishes with visitor services, real estate, kind of any emergency information about the city you would need to know. So I can give you this and that, and put the mat back in. Okay. So I pass that to you. There you go. So, do you have any other questions for me? Other things you'd like me to talk about or look into for our follow-up meeting? Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to throw too much information at you, but I did want to kind of pinpoint some great things for you guys to specifically focus on in your discussion, so that you don't miss the good stuff. Yeah, of course, I'm sorry. I didn't talk about them because you mentioned you had kids, but there are plenty of great breweries and wineries in the Low Country, and craft beers is one of the big things there. So there are tons of choices, and most of them are kid-friendly. So I definitely have been to a few that there are kids running around. It's a family vacation spot, so it's totally okay. Okay, so you give me a call whenever you're ready to come back in, and we'll schedule it up. And until then, let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. Okay, it's been a pleasure talking with you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.